What's going on, everyone? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another video. So, the Nintendo Direct has finally made its way for all of us to see, and for the most part, this Direct was alright. I'm not really interested in most of the games. You know, there's a few new Smash characters. Monster Hunter Rise is finally coming out soon. Some other games are coming out as well. Of course, the part that I was probably more interested in was the Zelda side of things. And to be honest with you guys, I'm actually not really happy with what transpired within this Direct. Specifically when it comes to the Skyward Sword HD remake. And look guys, don't get me wrong, I love Zelda as much as the next guy. I usually don't complain about it. But this is one of those times where I feel like I cannot keep my mouth shut because what I saw in this Direct was just very unsatisfying. So let me tell you why this was just so concerning to me when I saw this. So it basically started out with Eiji Aonuma basically saying that, you know, we have to wait a little bit longer to hear some news for Breath of the Wild 2. Surprise, surprise, whatever. I was expecting that to happen. But, you know, I was also expecting a remake like this to come out. But I was not expecting how the remake was going to look like. I was expecting it to look really great with new textures, upgraded graphics, a better HUD, you know, better controls and everything, which this does contain. Of course, the motion controls, like they said, are going to be more stable. Of course, for those guys who do have the Switch Lite, you could always use the control stick, but that's where the problem lies, as well as just the overall graphics for this game. So when it comes to Zelda remakes, Nintendo's usually known for going all out. You know, they always improve all the textures, they improve the resolution if it's an HD remake. I mean, look at Twilight Princess and look at Wind Waker HD. They look amazing. But when it comes to this one, it just feels like they kind of half-assed the entire thing. I felt like they kind of gave it the Super Mario Galaxy 3D All-Stars treatment where you just basically upscale the game without actually improving any of the textures or anything like that. And right there, I felt like that was like a huge red flag for me. The only difference that I've noticed graphics-wise, like I said, is just the upscaled resolution as well as a tinier HUD. That's literally the only thing I noticed. There's no other significant change, and that's pretty much it. The only other difference is just the ease of access when it comes to controllers. Other than that, there's nothing else that this game offers. And that's the problem here, because like, I feel like this is more of a cash grab than anything. I mean, when you saw like Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD, they look like actual remakes. Here, it just looks like they just got like some sort of texture settings from like the Dolphin emulator and just called it a remake or something like that. I feel like that's literally what they did. Of course, they upscaled it themselves, but you guys get the point. I mean, I feel like this remake was just completely half-assed, and it just doesn't really feel like it deserves the HD type of title. If anything, I feel like it deserves like an upscaled title, you know, like Skyward Sword upscaled or something like that. But like HD, I think it's a little bit going too far, because like some guy actually made a graphics comparison and actually showed my friend Zach Pack about it, and he literally said, yeah, there's really no difference between the two. It's also kind of like my cousin who gets like a haircut after he already has short hair, and then he asks me like right after, how do I look? And I'm like, you got a haircut? That's literally what this game is right now. But of course, this is YouTube quality stuff. I mean, I'm sure like with our 4K TVs or whatever type of resolution TV, it's gonna look a little bit better. But now let's actually talk about the controls part, which is probably a little bit more concerning than the actual graphics. Because, you know, I'm not really too much of a graphics whore, but, you know, changing some textures would have been nice. You know, you could have just done that. But the controller part is probably the more concerning. People are already calling this game Skyward Drift because of the secondary option that you could use. So, of course, now you can use your control stick to actually wave your sword around, like, if you want to. But the problem is just that there's a lot of Joy-Con drift issues that are still plaguing a lot of people. If people just use this the entire game, they're obviously going to get Joy-Con drift a lot quicker. So it doesn't really help that you're selling a cool Zelda customized Joy-Con thing, and if they use it that way, they pretty much ruin their Joy-Cons no matter what. And it sucks for the people that are actually using a Switch Lite, because once they have their Joy-Cons drift, it's over for them. So I understand a lot of you guys do not like motion controls, and I understand that. I completely get it. For me personally, I don't have a problem with them. I mean, I never really had any technical issues with them. I think I only had to calibrate once from my memory. I think that's what happened like to me. Like I never really had too many issues when it came to that. But I do actually recommend using motion controls this time around, especially if they're going to be more stable, so you won't have a problem recalibrating. But yeah, I do recommend it if you don't want to have any Joy-Con drift. So yeah, I recommend using motion controls this time around. Of course, if you can't or if you don't want to, just use a Pro Controller. For those of you that play Switch Lite, good luck. I wish you the very best. But yeah, anyways, I'm very happy that this remake is coming out. Honestly, I am. I'm happy that Skyward Sword finally got an HD remake. I mean, if you could call it that. But the problem is that I wish that they did a little bit more instead of just making the HUD smaller and that's it. You know, they could have done more with the textures. They could have upscaled them. They could have made it more high quality like they did in Twilight Princess. But I don't know. I'm not going to question Nintendo's methods on this one. But I just wish they did better. That's all I'm saying. Just don't be too blinded by your love for this game, because I mean, like, that's what I've been seeing from Switch Force. You know, he's like blindly excited. Like they didn't even bother to talk about the downsides or anything. They just said, "Oh yeah, I'm happy that all these games are coming out. Like, haters are gonna hate and all that stuff." It's like, dude, no. It, like, just because I point out a flaw doesn't mean I hate on the game. It's just I feel like they could have done better. This game has a lot of potential. But yeah, that's just me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe for some more Nintendo related content. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.